This album review is going to be The Way It Ends by the band Currents, which was suggested to me by my friend Samantha on Discord. I've never listened to Currents before. They've somehow managed to slip past me. I've seen the name floating around, seen people talking about them, but never really checked them out. And this has been my first ever listen to them. I've listened to the album from start to finish, and yeah, it's about 11 tracks long. I think, if I remember correctly, according to my notes, yeah, it runs at about 34 minutes and 43 seconds. And it came out in 2020. So it's a fairly recent album. We start off with a very short, solid intro track, which I think was about a minute and something long. And it was a very good way to open the album. Then we move on to A Flag to Wave, which has a very good overall feeling and has a really nice breakdown towards the end of the track, which then flows quite well into the second song, Poverty of Self. This song has a great vibe and has quite a groovy breakdown, and Brian, the vocalist, has some really good guttural distortion and power on this song, which really showcases his abilities and adds to the song. Then we move on to the third track, titled Monsters, which has a good slow opening and then kicks down the door before it soars into an amazing chorus, and they just keep repeating the pattern of heavy, really nice chorus, heavy chorus, and then before the track ends. And there's a great solo towards the end which really showcases the guitarist's skill. And then it smoothly moves to the next song, Kill the Ache, which has an interesting open. Definitely a really cool sound to it, and some soft cleans, which changes the pace for a little bit, and then it picks straight back up, back at full force, and it flows together really well and makes sense. The lyrics have a very good syllabic rhythm points, fitting the instrumentation, and the transitions between soft vocals to harsher vocals flow really well. And then we go on to Let Me Leave, which, again, flows on really well from the last track. Like, this band have a really good knack of making the album, like this album especially, like each song like tie, almost like flow in together. It's like so seamless, really well done. And this again starts with a very somber, slow delivery before it picks up and really like starts going for it with the vocals. Like I said, there's some nice cleans. Then you get some of the really gritty, like deep sounding screams and gutturals, and then back to cleans, which switch effortlessly again, as I was saying previously. And it ends with a very genty guitar and drum rhythm, which I really enjoyed. And then we move on to the track Origin, which has a opening that's heavy and has a very good vibe to it, and then a clean break, which was very short and sweet before going back into heavy sounds again. That's really all I have to say about that one. Like, there wasn't a great deal to say. It was just a enjoyable listening experience. And then we move on to Split, which has a very bouncy guitar open, followed by a more smooth, clean sound, and then quickly flips over to a blistering delivery. And the lyrics were quite interesting on this song. Like, I did look them up eventually after finishing the album. And there's some lines like, with the thought to grow, but you know you won't, and I'm not done fighting with the world I'm in. So it's definitely quite some like deeper lyrics, deeper meanings if you dig behind them. And then we move on to Second Skin, which starts with a belt of the song's name and then keeps a good speed like throughout the song. And there's not too many cleans in this, unlike others. Like, yes, there are a few bits here and there for like the chorus and stuff like that. And Once again, the guitarist makes a really cool like sound with his guitar and showcases his skill and ability, and the vocals go even deeper eventually before the chorus, and then a heavy showcase from the drums and the guitar again towards the end, which really did stand out to me. Then it just kind of like slowly fades out after the instruments. We then move on to the next song, which is called How I Fall Apart, and it starts with a line saying, "All alone inside my head," which I'm sure a lot of us can relate to nowadays. It carries a slow pace for close to about a full minute, and then it just goes straight back into the heavy, like what the band are doing well for the rest of the album. And again, it's another great guitar solo in there, and it just has a very solid speed, solid mix, and then it just ends really well before leading us on to the last track, Better Days. This is yet another song with a fucking solid start, which picks up, and the guitars, when it does start to pick up, just god damn, they start get the guitar work again is phenomenal. The screams after that point sound distant, almost like they've kind of been pushed to the back to make them almost sound further away, and they almost sound like they're calling for help until they shift them right back up close again, and you can hear what they're saying, and it just like really adds to the effect of some of the lines, and it focuses back in and gives you a full force delivery, and the layer screams and cleans towards the end, because like there's clean delivery lines with then the vocalist screaming similar stuff over the top, and they work really well, and that's how they like bring it to a close, and it's just a good way to end the album. My final thoughts, I want to definitely shout out the guitarist and the drummer, because they had some phenomenal work showcased on this album. They're really good. And the singer, he has got a great sound and great range. Like, he's got the gritty stuff, the deeps, the cleans, and he has a really good pronunciation as well. You can actually understand what he's saying, unlike some metal vocalists, and the album is definitely worth checking out. I would say, if I had to rate it out of my 5-star rating, this would be a 4 for me. If I'm honest, my only thing I would have liked is if they ended the album with just one soft song, like from start to finish, because you get hints of really soft, subtle tracks, or like what the singer can do with the soft, subtle sound, and I think it would have been a nice way to end it out with one that's just a somber track or like a soft track. But that's not to take away from the album. It is really good. My standout tracks are Monsters, Kill the Ache, A Flag to Wave, Split, and Better Days. These 5 songs encompass the overall vibe and sound of the album well. If you didn't want to listen to it from start to finish, like if you just listened to these 5, you would get a very good feeling of what the album sounds like and if it is your style. With that said, once again, 4 out of 5 stars, very, very solid. Yeah, thank you for checking out this review, and I will see you again soon with another one.